Good morning and welcome to the Wandering Out Loud podcast. I'm Allison, I'm your host, and this is the first episode. So a couple of weeks ago, I was in the middle of doing something because I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I got kids, I got work, all sorts of things. And a saying kind of popped into my mind and I wanted to talk about it on here. So the saying that came to me was, your yin to your yang. And I know what yin and yang are, and generally most people would, or at least me, had assumed, well, I'm married, I have my yin to my yang, I'm in that relationship, I have that love. So what does that really mean? What was going on? And so I started kind of thinking about it, and I of course had to do some research, so I've got some notes with me on this. And what it really meant for me is your yin to your yang. Yin is the feminine energy and yang is your masculine energy. And as I kind of thought about this, I realized, okay, I'm obviously stuck in one. Everybody, human beings, especially, we have both energies within us. And the whole point is to find balance. So how do we find that within ourselves? And that's a tough one. It's a tough one, and is definitely one that is now has been a part of my healing journey for a while now. And so I wanted to talk a little bit more about that. So what exactly is masculine energy? I've heard people talk about this. I've heard people talk about, the different energies, masculine versus feminine. It never clicked. It never clicked until this moment. So I wanted to go through it and share what I've learned and how I kind of related to it, and maybe it will help you. So masculine energy is what I live in a lot. So it's focused, it's goal-oriented, it's having direction, it's having discipline, so making plans, routines. I love planning. That is probably, I'm a master at planning. I've got calendars, they're color-coded, you bet. I got that one down. I can schedule, I can do routines. It's taking charge, making decisions. It's independence. Very independent. I was brought up to be independent and not rely on people. And so that I stand very much in my masculine energy a lot. And I won't lie, it has led to burnout. It has led to having those mental days where you feel like you can't get out of bed, but you put one foot in front of the other and you do what you can, where you just kind of want to, hand it over. It's also about taking control. I do that a lot. I have control issues. I know that. I recognize it. We're learning from that. Feminine energy. Let's talk about the other side of that. This is the one that I struggle with. And feminine energy is some core things: being open to receiving ideas, support from people, love even, rather than striving or chasing. Trusting your gut and emotions. Creativity, so dancing or expressing through art, relationships, just creativity in general. I am not someone who considers myself to be very creative. Flexibility, meaning being able to adapt and change naturally, where you have that routine and that plan and that schedule, and then something majorly hiccups it and becomes a problem and throws the whole plan out the window maybe, or maybe it alters it and you're running now 30 minutes late, or you're having to figure out how you're going to reschedule everything in the middle of that. So kind of going with the flow and being flexible, even though you have that plan in place or that routine in place, can be a challenge for me as well. And then of course, emotional expression, so feeling deeply and sharing those feelings with others. I was taught from a very young age, we don't show emotion, we don't process emotions, we hide it almost. Being versus doing is another feminine energy. So valuing presence, stillness, just existing, letting someone else make the decision instead of you, letting someone else take control instead of you doing that. And that's hard. I think in work and in business, that we stand a lot in our masculine energy from day to day. And so a lot of times, and so that's hard to sometimes switch it off. When you get home, I think the number one thing that drives me crazy every day, of course, is, and I'm sure almost any adult is what's for dinner? Why can we not? We can't. That's a hard decision. But I think by the end of the day, most of us are so what they call decision fatigued. We have made so many decisions throughout the day at work or with the kids or whatever it is that you do. And by the time you get to that evening, you're wiped out. You're over it. That's hard. That's hard. So one of the things that, especially, I'm gonna go back to masculine energy real quickly, has a hard time with is receiving help. Receiving help. I know I have a hard time reaching out when I need help. I have a hard time reaching out and saying, I desperately, I need help. I need you to do this. I have worked on that. So that's part of my, I guess, to-do is on my to-do list is communicating better with those that are around me, communicating better with, my kids when I need help. Hey, can you go do this? And they're like, well, why? Because, we're in preteen phase for one of them. And it's like, because I need your help. So expressing the fact that, no, I'm not just asking you to pick up after yourself because you should. It's, I need help. I can't do it all. Right now, and I will even tell them, right now, in this moment, can you please do this because I'm doing this and we just need it done. I need help. Or I'll tell them in advance if we're getting ready for something. Like right now we're getting ready to paint our house and we're packing up things. And so I told my daughter the other day, I gave her a warning. I was like, hey, tomorrow or later today in an hour. So kind of they can process what's about to happen and say, I need help. We're going to go through your room and I need your, I don't think you want me to do it on my own. And I want you, we're going to do it together. And we're going to go through things and we're going to do this and whatnot. Now, for some of us, that might mean set a 30-minute timer, set a 20-minute timer, and just knock it out. But asking for help has been a big one for me. That's a struggle. And feminine energy, a lot of times if you stand too much in your feminine energy, apparently a sign, and this is one that stuck out to me, and that was if you're feeling imbalanced in your feminine energy, then meaning maybe you're doing too much in that. It's overgiving with boundaries. And for me, I interpreting that as you're a people pleaser. And one of my sisters and I have a joke in the fact that we are reformed people pleasers. I have learned how to start setting boundaries. I've, of course, first started with family. And some of those family members were not very kind. They were not very enthusiastic about my boundaries in the beginning. And that's okay. I just kept setting the boundary. This is what it's going to be. And this is what it is. And eventually they have now, without even realizing I was setting a boundary, I think they've come to, it's better. Our relationship is better because I'm now standing firm in that boundary and stop trying to bend over backwards and please this person. And it was making me miserable, honestly, in some of those cases. And so it's setting that boundary and learning how to kind of lean into that a little bit. All right, so how can we practice? Because it really is, I figured out, okay, well, this is feminine, this is masculine. Obviously, I stand in my masculine way more than I do my feminine. And so how can I change that? How can I improve? How can I become more balanced within myself? And so I started, again, figuring out. Now, some of these may work for you. Some of them may not. Some of them are working for me. Some of them are not. Some of them will not. So masculine energy, setting goals. And I'm not saying here, let's set 10 goals for the year. I mean, heck, we're in July already. We're not setting 10 goals that we need to accomplish by the end of the end of this year. Absolutely not. Take one, maybe two. Do that. If two is too much, do one. So my first goal, without even realizing this conversation was kind of going on in the back, you know, in the back of my mind, my subconscious, I started setting a goal, 9 months ago, I guess it was, and that was I needed to get back to working out. I needed to get back to being stronger, building my strength back up. My health had taken a dive last year in 24, and so just really rework, you know, really get feeling more confident in my physical fitness, and the fact that I could, you know, play and run with my kids or swim and not be out of breath and not, I gotta go sit down, but also just to get stronger. So that was a fitness goal I had for me, is that you could also have goals in career. You could have a goal in finances. You could have any goal. Pick a goal. Or pick one thing that's been on your to-do list forever and get it done. Make time. Schedule it. Put it on your calendar. On Saturday at 2 p.m., do whatever, you know, schedule whatever it is. And if it's something that you have to go out and do, like renew your passport or renew your license or your car registration or something of that realm, where you actually got to go to a place and go do it, then figure out when your appointment can be, put it on the books. If you have to, take your hour off work. It's okay. I give you permission, full permission to do it, and get it done and get it out of the back of your mind to clear up that space in your mind that you're not, oh yeah, I got to go do that. Okay, so that's one way to do it. Another way is to do something uncomfortable daily. Maybe not daily. Maybe this week. Maybe this month. Find something. This, right now, this podcast, recording it and then actually posting it, it's making me uncomfortable. But I'm going to be brave and I'm going to do it. You can take the lead or initiative on something, maybe something small, maybe a trip, maybe it's a day trip, maybe it's a date. Plan, if you have a partner, and they're always the one planning the date, maybe you plan it instead. Or plan an activity that you're gonna take your kids and surprise them with. Trips, I love to plan trips. That is like my jam. Totally my fun thing to do. And then of course, along with your trip, another goal could be saving the finances for that trip. So that could be, there's your two goals. We're gonna take a trip, it's gonna be in a year, roughly, and I think it's gonna, look up your flights, look up how far is it gonna take you to drive, if you can drive, how much gas do you think it'll be right now, what would hotels look like, plan it, plan your budget, and then figure out how you're gonna save for that. So there's two goals right there. You could create for masculine energy, use your teams, time blocking, so scheduling, putting it on your calendar. Yes, I do have a calendar. Yes, I color code it because I have two children who do lots of activities, and holy moly, if I don't color code, I think I would be lost because they're not all my calendar events. They're theirs mostly, and then I have my stuff sprinkled in. Work on your physical strength. So if fitness is a goal, figure out, is it in fitness, is it specifically a goal that you have, meaning you want to lift more, or do you want more cardio, or maybe you don't even know where to start like I did. I just picked something. I picked something on YouTube and went with it. The other thing, and this is one that I struggle with and that I'm practicing, and that is hold space for conversation. Don't try to fix. My favorite thing, one of my sisters started asking, and I'm trying to adapt, and that is, do you want my advice or do you want me to just listen? So do you want my advice or do you want me to just listen? When a friend calls, or maybe a colleague calls and they just need to vent, do you want, or they're going on complaining about something, do you want my advice or do you just want me to listen? And sometimes it's, I just need you to listen. Let me get it out, let me get the words out, let me get the frustration out, and then I can move forward. And then sometimes it's, I really am thinking about this and I need some advice. I really need some help on what solutions could potentially be for this, problem that I'm having in here. All right, so those are some things for masculine energy. Let's talk about feminine energy really quickly. What ways can you practice to lean more into that? It says engage in creative expression. So in other words, dance. Put on some music. If you got a really long commute, or maybe you don't, I work from home, so I don't get much of a commute. I don't get to, dance in my car like I used to. It was a really good mood booster. I now sometimes when I'm working on something quiet at work, I will turn on some music just to kind of distract me and whatnot. Get up and dance. Schedule a dance break. in the middle of work, 5 minutes. If you're in your office and nobody's watching, maybe not. But find a few minutes and just let it out. Or paint. Maybe you're not a dancer and maybe you're a painter. Just sketch, write some poetry, journal, something like that. Sing. I sing off tune. My kids hate it. I like to remind them that how embarrassing I can be, and that they better be careful. Whatever it is that gets your creative juices flowing, for me it's dance, so that's something I'm trying to work back into, especially into my physical routine, physical fitness. I want to get back to that. I hate, this is one that's hard. I've learned, feel your emotions fully. So when you're frustrated, when you're angry, sit with it. Pause and sit with it. This is something that I've done recently. I am an emotion code, body code, belief code practitioner. I've gone through a lot of extensive training on how to help identify emotions, especially ones that we have a hard time identifying. And I had a really hard time at the beginning, a couple years ago when I started doing that. But now I sit there and go, okay, I'm feeling this. Why? What's really causing, what's behind this? Is it this or is it this? No, maybe not. But I sit there and I let it feel. And then what I kind of do is I kind of meditate it away, meaning I just say, now let it go. Anger, let it go. Just let it go. Let your body release whatever it is so that way it's not trapped. So you can journal as well through that. You can do breath work, meditation, those things. You can also let go of control again. Maybe you are the one who plans the dates all the time, or maybe you are the one who's planning dinner all the time, or you're the planner. Maybe you're the planner in your friends group or in your relationship. Ask your partner. Say, hey, I really want to go on a date this weekend, or I've started asking for help for dinner. I hate cooking dinner. We're busy. The kids are busy. We got schedules, and I'm sometimes working late. My husband's working late right now too. So it's a matter of like, hey, this is what's on the meal. And before we even get to that point is when we're ordering groceries or we're at the grocery store, it's what do you want to cook because I need your help. What is it this week? It's not just my job to figure out what's for dinners this week and help possibly cook those dinners even. Sometimes I need to lean. A lot of times it is me, but sometimes I need to lean and I need to let go of that control and go, okay, I need you to do this for me. I'm giving up control for now. It's not probably cooked the way that I want it to be cooked. It's probably not the way that I would have done it, but I have to let go of that and say, it's okay. It's edible. Moving on. Spend time in nature. That's another way to connect with your feminine energy. If you can't get out into nature, you can walk barefoot. Just walk barefoot down your driveway. I've done that. Or walk barefoot in your grass. You can garden. I won't lie, that's not what I will be doing. I am not a gardener. I do not have a green thumb. Nope, I don't have one of those. Sometimes, especially when it's winter and it's dark outside already, and I actually did this last night, even though it's summer. The moon was out already, and sometimes I'll just go out there and just kind of watch it. It just seems so peaceful, and just kind of reconnect with that. There's other ways you can connect, embrace beauty, of course, like candles. You could take a bubble bath or an Epsom salt bath, or just find a few minutes away. I've even gotten to the point with my kids and my husband sometimes and go, because everybody's demanding whatever from work, and I've got this work to do at work, and then, like I said, I work from home, so the minute I leave my office, I'm walking into my kitchen and I'm cooking dinner half the time, or my kids are home during all of that, and so they're demanding attention from me, and my husband's demanding attention from me. I'm never left alone. If they're home, I will go into the other room, and they'll follow. The cat will follow. And that's okay, but sometimes it's okay to say, I just need 5 minutes alone. I think this is the reason why some of us have a habit of going to the bathroom and taking our phones maybe and scrolling on them, because that might be the only time we're left alone. I recognize that. I acknowledge that. We're trying to change that. I'm trying to intentionally, give me 5 or 10 minutes. I just need 5 or 10 minutes by myself. Just quiet. Shut the door. Go to your closet and shut the door. I understand if you have toddlers in the house that may not be doable. Okay. Give it a try. Let's see here. You could take care of plants or your pet. Offer compassion to a friend. I know that sometimes I have a hard time connecting with people, and so when I'm really stressed out, I don't want to talk to anybody. And I think with a lot of us, we disconnect because we're overwhelmed. Our nervous systems are not balanced. They're out of whack, out of sync, and so we just want to disconnect. And I think that is the moment I find, at least in myself, that's when I need connection the most. So reach out to a friend, reach out to, if you're really close with a sibling, if you have one, reach out to them and just say, I just need to talk to you a few minutes. Get whatever it is that's off your chest. So that's kind of your, you can practice yoga. You could, like I said, creative projects. There's all sorts of ideas out there that you can to lean into both. Remember, we're looking for a balanced, and I'm not just talking to you, I'm talking to me. We are looking for a balanced between both energies. We don't want to be over or under kind of thing. I think that's when we find ourselves, like I said, especially for me, my masculine energy, standing in that constantly all the time. That led to burnout. That led to mental health issues. It led to a lot of things. I had to in those moments in my life that led up to all of, my world imploding sometimes. And so I did what I had to do, but then I had to retrace and I had to reset, and that can be hard too. So I hope this helped. Comment below what you do to stand in one or the other. Give ideas out there. Let's share ideas and follow for the next episode. I hope you have a wonderful day. And I'll see you next time.